Alright, kids, Wonder Woman 1984 is right around the corner. And, well, actually, it's a little bit of a ways out. What is this? Another delay for the movie's release. But the hype just keeps coming. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from Legacy Comics, and today I'll be giving you an introduction and origin explanation of Wonder Woman's aunt, General Antiope, as well as some speculation for the character in Wonder Woman 1984. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to tell me that you enjoy the content on this channel, and on with the video. This video will seek to expand one's knowledge on the origin and character of Antiope, giving you guys the ability to build your foreknown knowledge of Wonder Woman 1 and combine it with the historical and canonical record of the character in DC Comics. It is important to understand that Warner Brothers took specific liberties with the characters in the movies, so it may not reflect completely perfect with the comic book counterpart. Antiope has never been a character to stand in the spotlight of Wonder Woman publications, although the character has been very important and very often been shown to have great influence amongst many of these stories, characters, and even the actions of Diana at points in her character's narrative. The character was introduced in 1984 to the original Wonder Woman title during issue 312. In the character's first iteration, Antiope was a rather high-ranking Amazonian that became aware of some problems introduced by Hippolyta's rule. This being the case, she was very distrusting of her. She plots to overthrow Hippolyta, and then also in this iteration, the character, she really has no perceived family relationship with Hippolyta. We never really got to see much of where the character would have continued to go, seeing as soon she was killed in the later part of the run, issue 328, during one of the greatest comic book crossovers of all time, Crisis on Infinite Earths. She, like many other characters, was subdued and lost their lives to the Shadow Demons. Following Crisis, Antiope came back in a much different form, on account that the Crisis reboot basically gave all of the Amazons a new backstory as a whole. The Greek gods took the souls for these dead women that had been slain by man's hatred. They drew forth these souls, dropping them like great tears into the lake of Greece, and the souls of these women on the surface. The souls of these long dead women mixed with the clay and stone of the lake bed to form the Amazons, women reborn. As each newly created woman reached the surface, they became Amazons. The first one, as you might have guessed, to reach the surface was Queen Hippolyta herself. But I bet you can't guess the second one, though. Well, shoot, you might actually have guessed the second one. It was her sister, Antiope, who would end up ruling alongside Hippolyta, and Antiope, with both of their nobleness, would be bestowed great gifts from the Greek goddesses with skills, powers, and cool pieces of equipment called the Golden Girdle of Gaia, which would enhance their strength as well as their abilities. Soon, the Amazons found the city of Themyscira and Anatolia. At this time, legends continued and the Amazonians became known as fierce warriors of peace in Turkey, Greece, and Rome. Upon one occasion, Hercules sought to ransack the Amazonian city so he could gain the Golden Girdle, but Hippolyta and the fierce warriors of the Amazons fended off Hercules, and then she proceeded to flex on Hercules and his general Theseus and his army by inviting them to eat a feast with them. Amidst the feast, Hercules and his men drug the Amazons and take them all as prisoners, destroying the city as well as stealing the Golden Girdle of Hippolyta. The Amazons try to appeal to the goddess Athena, and she helps the Amazons under the pretenses that they do not seek retribution towards Hercules or his men. And while the Amazons agree, they slaughter their captors anyways. It should be noted that Theseus escaped, and we don't know if he took part of the capture for these Amazonian warriors or not. But because of the Amazons' severe disobedience to Athena, she demands the Amazons to serve penance for their sins. Hippolyta agrees, but Antiope, out of spite, renounces her allegiance to the Greek gods. Now Antiope decides to become a crazy assassin, giving her golden girdle to Hippolyta, and seeks to kill Hercules and Theseus, his general, for their lives. To her aid came many loyal compatriots and her daughter, Phaetha. Contrary to how one would think the story would play out with a bunch of angry, bloodlusted Amazonian warriors, Antiope, after meeting Theseus, actually falls in love, and they proceed to marry each other. As they unite their forces, the Amazons that follow still resent the Greeks that captured them, and the Greeks show no respect for the Amazons. Antiope and Theseus end up having a son whose name is Hippolytus. Theseus's former wife, Ariadne, tries to kill Antiope, and then ends up succeeding. Ariadne lays all the blame upon Phaetha, Antiope's daughter. The Amazonians are completely done with being under Greek rule, and then they retrieve Phaetha and the golden girdle that Hercules stole, and then proceed to establish themselves as Bana-Mighdall. They create their residency in the Middle East, keeping the golden girdle, and they create a sculpture of Antiope as a sacred relic. These Amazons ended up being mortal, but they find outsiders and proceed to survive for many centuries as a very strong and well-trained group of warriors. Now here's a fascinating tidbit of information. After Diana, or Wonder Woman, is born, she ends up finding the city of Bana-Mighdall while searching for Cheetah. Both of these characters are both in Wonder Woman 1984. So is General Antiope, but I don't think we're going to see any of Bana-Mighdall in the actual movie. Maybe a funny little Easter egg reference to it, but I doubt that that will even happen. The events with Wonder Woman, Cheetah, and Bana-Mighdall happen in Wonder Woman 2. When Queen Hippolyta dies, Antiope shows herself as a ghost to Diana and explains, "There are other Amazons out there, descendants of my tribe, other offshoots. Diana, you must seek them out and guide them, and represent them in the world of man." Both Hippolyta and Antiope promise to guide Diana in this endeavor. As Wonder Woman 1984 rolls around, and now I guess we will still have quite a long distance to roll, I'm really curious as to what capacity they will use Antiope. I mean, they could use her just as a spirit, do a Star Wars-esque spirit thing there, or we could actually see flashbacks or various other combinations, and I think that would be really cool if we could see more interaction with current Diana in the DCEU. I don't see DC using the spirit world in Wonder Woman 2 as a extremely viable option. I feel like we are definitely going to get more flashbacks because a lot of Wonder Woman 1 was flashbacks, and especially with Antiope already being dead, I think it's better for them to flashback than to focus on a character that has been relatively not there for so long. But those are just my thoughts, my opinions, and also the history and explanation of who Antiope is as a character. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and share the video with your friends. Also, you can turn on that notification bell if you want to be alerted for the next time I make a video. I mean, come on, who wouldn't? Make sure to leave any questions, ideas, and comments down below. This is Jeremy from Legacy Comics, signing out. See ya!